Hello and welcome to episode 35 of the award-winning FUTBIN podcast. Once again, your host Richard Buckley to guide you through a week of Ultimate Team news and headlines. And I've got a familiar face, it's safe to say at this point, next to me. He was producer. Now I'm going to say it. He's co-host Dan, stepping up. How are we, Dan?
Oh, I'm good. I thought it was a bit of a late recording today. Didn't want to get Matt on this late. I'll jump back in. Who knows? We might see him next week for Premier League Team of the Season, but I feel like I've said this every week for the last two or three.
Yeah, we'll we might see him for FC 27.
Maybe. It's a busy time.
Yeah, it's a very busy time. And someone who's been very busy is our guest for this week. She was just at the MLS hosting the tournament, the esports event. I've seen her quite a few times over the last couple of months, here, there, and everywhere. Big Man City fan. We had her on the podcast in the start of the season, and we've got her on in the back nine, shall we say, of the Ultimate Team year. Our good friend at FUTBIN. Case, how are you?
I'm good. I appreciate it because I think last time we filmed it, it was like 3 a.m. So thank you for accommodating the North American hours. Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not a problem. I hear you ask what is coming up on today's episode. Well, it is Team of the Season time. We're a couple of days away from those Blues being released into packs. We have been told we've got four squads coming at the same time. So we'll be having a look at Team of the Season, what we're expecting from those squads, some of the highlight players to look out for. We have got another promo to review, Trophy Titans Team 2. We'll be giving our top picks from that particular promo, as well as all the action from the Premier League. We are about a week away from the Premier League Team of the Season. We're estimating that will be the next Team of the Season, the second in line. We'll be getting Case's predictions on the Premier League Team of the Season, as well as the Women's League as well with the Premier League. As well as that, myself and Case, we've been at esports events. I know everyone is intrigued to find out what's been happening with the league showdown, so we'll be giving a quick review of that, as well as a week of SBCs. Hot or not, Cases in the hot seat. But let's get kickstarted, as always, with the new promo that came out. I don't think this is going to be too long, to be honest. I mean, it gives an opportunity while we look at Trophy Titans Team 2 to sort of ask you, Case. I mean, you play a lot of the game. You open a lot of packs. I would say you are a pretty hardcore player when it comes to Ultimate Team. Does Trophy Titans just feel like a filler promo when we actually look at it? You can see the players on the screen. The price, as always, I feel like I'm repeating myself. There's some just premium players that are just unpackable, and then everything else just feels behind the power curve. How have you sort of seen these 2 weeks of Trophy Titans?
Yeah, for me, I would definitely agree. I think it is. I don't know if it's a filler promo, because a promo full of icons shouldn't, in theory, be a filler, because icons are still icons at the end of the day. But especially because we have the baby version of them, which is like the only thing that we're out here packing over and over and over, it doesn't feel very exciting, because the Henrys, the Marcelos, the Cafus, like the big hitter target items, they're just unpackable because of pack weight. I mean, Team 1, the only thing I could pack was the better version of Butra. This time around, Team 2, I mean, I think I've packed the baby Maldini like 6 times, Pires, the baby version Lineker. Like, it's the same people over and over and over. Have not been able to try out some of those big hitter items. But for me, the one that I really do want to try, just can't afford, is the Bastian Schweinsteiger, because it's actually a usable version of Basti this time around. Little bit biased as a Chicago Fire fan. He played for my local, but like, he actually does look like a really, really good item. I mean, he's $2 million. He's very expensive, but I mean, he does look really, really good.
I just think the problem is, Dan, and I do feel like a broken record when I say things like this. There was an Evo that you could get 3 playstyle pluses on. I've got a 93 rated Luca Connell from Barnsley that's got better playstyles and probably better stats than that Bastian Schweinsteiger. And for 2 million coins, with Team of the Season quite literally hours away in the grand scheme of things, it just feels as though it's the wrong timing of the year. Like, if this promo for me came out in February, I think these items you'd see more of them. I played Champs over the weekend. I didn't really see any of these Trophy Titan items across the board.
I also think, like you said, with comparing it to the Evo, not only is this 93 rated Evo better, it's also someone from your club that you've got a connection to.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going into the game with my 93 Sam Coffey. I'm like, I don't really care about this Schweinsteiger card. I've got one of my favourite players like from the team I support. I'm not touching these cards. The ones I have been interested in, though, are like the baby versions. I used the Maldini and the Marcelo this weekend. I was actually pretty impressed with them. The Marcelo, I think, I would say he's better than the Team of the Year. He's got better play styles. Stats are a little bit lower, but he's got the right play styles. And I'd even say it's worth picking one up, sticking him in the club, and waiting for Evos. Because we're close to getting those 90 rated Evos, and it wouldn't surprise me if Marcelo fits in one soon, and then you've got a really top tier left back.
I really like the Desailly for that same point as well. Good pace, decent defending, decent physicality, 88 rated, so he fits into even current Evos now. He's got 2 playstyle pluses, one which is pretty elite in Bruiser. I think block is good. It's probably a little bit undervalued and underrated in the grand scheme of things, but I agree with you. I think the value could be in, it sounds weird, but in these icons mid to long term in the Evos, because we're also, you would imagine with Team of the Season, every player probably have 3 playstyle pluses across the board. Yeah. The Evo cap on just giving us in season passes, for example, a finesse shot playstyle or anticipate playstyle, you just put that on any player then that you want to. And I would imagine that some of these players, someone like Maldini, that Marcelo at 90 rated, Ian Wright even, finesse and rapid plus, could sneak in and you could actually start to see some pretty decent players in there. Obviously, go on, Dad.
I was going to say, also, there's no harm in picking one of these up.
Yeah.
Especially the ones at 10, 11k. Okay, if they don't get an Evo and you then need the coins, just discard them and you've lost nothing. But if they do fit an Evo in a month's time, you've stuck them in the club, you forgot about them. They might shoot up to like 40, 50k and you've made some really easy coins, or you can put them in the Evo and you don't have to spend them coins.
We, as always, get a hero team to accompany it with the icons. A strange one, I've got to say, because this feels like it doesn't need to be released. Like the quality is pretty much on the floor with a lot of these players. It feels like a strange sort of selection of players. I mean, there's no real value there. Scott is the only player that's got any sort of value, and even then, I think if there's ever a stay away from a team or a selection, it's these for me. Like there's nothing really there. I mean, Carlos Tevez coming in at 180k. I seem to remember a couple of years ago, maybe last year, he had an item. It might have been in Trophy Titans that was extinct at one point. He might have been one of the only players with low driven plus when that was introduced into the game. But across the board, I think on the heroes, not much to write home about. Dan, anything there for you?
The only thing that's been there for me this week is that Mario Gomez. I'm sick of seeing him. I think every Trophy Titans I've packed this week is him. And at first I packed him and was like, oh, he's 92. He's got some really good he's got some really good stats. He's got some decent play styles. He's 25k. Yeah. And he seems to be the only one I can pack. So I can't wait for Team of the Season. And even just seeing a different colour tunnel. Because even the tunnel's a bit boring. Half the time I'm thinking I packed the Team of the Week. And Team of the Week's not even in packs anymore.
I want to actually ask you, Case, before we move on. Obviously, you open a lot of packs. You open a lot of like the big premium packs, the guaranteed 90 plus, guaranteed 89 plus, etc. How demotivating is it opening? Like, I opened a lot of packs for Team of the Year and didn't get a lot for the actual amount of money I spent. I think we talked about this on the pod. I walked away with, I think, 6 blues from well over £1,000 spent. And I was like, I felt as though at the time I got something out of that. On these like, I don't want to say filler promos, but the in-between, the milestone promos, when you're looking at Foot Birthday, Ultimate Scream, Team of the Year, Team of the Season, how demotivating is it to open packs and just see the same faces, see a Mario Gomez, see a Ashley Cole over and over again? Like, do you just think it's not even worth it sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You could spend $30 on a pack and get an item
Bolts.
worth... Yeah, no, but you can make like 10K. Like, it is absolutely insane that some of these like big hitter promo packs are giving out absolutely nothing. And especially because, like you said, you see the same players over and over and over. And so I could go through 12K FC points and get all dupes. So you just spent $100 to get the same people over and over and over. And so I've spent way less this year. I literally saw a video today of a creator. He spent $48,000 of FC points. And like, that is just, to me, that's crazy, because I would love to know.
$48,000.
Yes. So I'm nowhere near that this year. I'm doing every single upgrade, the 83 times 10s, and with the hope that something pops out of those. And so every day I'm on those to try to offset spending less on promo packs. Yeah. But I am spending, yes, but it just doesn't seem as worth it.
No, and I think even obviously, Dan, when you look across the board at the wider community, it feels as though back in, even from my own social media, I'm not a big on social media. I think I'm that's safe to say. But in FIFA 20, FIFA 21, I would pack something, I'd put it on social media, and you'd get interaction. You'd get like, oh, great pack, or whatever it may be, a lot of interaction on it. Now it feels like that interaction is for Evos, or for squad building, or for looking at teams and almost leagues. Whereas if you actually pack something, unless you are literally packing a 96 Hullet or a Team of the Year Mbappe, people don't really care anymore. Is that safe to say?
I just don't think it's that special. And not even because they're the only people packing them. Because there's probably still that same amount of people, like that 0.01% getting these players.
Yeah.
I think just people care less now, and it's like, because you can get these sort of level of players from Evos, and people are not too attached to the store packs, it's kind of like, all right, you can have that like 96 Hullet or whatever it was, but I'll just sit with my Evo card that I'm perfectly happy with. If I pack someone at that level, great, but it doesn't feel like people are missing out if they're not packing them. And I just think, yeah, like when there's those first big store packs, I guess it is the store packs that have kind of I don't really know how to describe it, because so many have been opened, it doesn't feel as special, because you can just pack them, spend £40. Yeah, you guarantee them. Yeah. Whereas like when it was back in FIFA 19 and 2021, there weren't these guaranteed packs. So if you are getting something, it is a lot of luck, and it's like
skill gap.
You're actually very impressed with that, yeah. Whereas like now it's, oh, this guy's just spent 40 quid to guarantee himself a pack, and it's like, it's not as special anymore.
Well, I will be spending 40 quid on packs when I've got blues to potentially get. We saw this image that came out. This is the official splash screen. I think the official verbiage of it. As you can see, let me throw a little zoom there. We have got Eredivisie, we have got Serie, we've got MLS, and I believe that's a Serie, which indicates the rest of the world.
I think it's Norwegian.
Norwegian, yeah. All coming at the same time. The first thing that springs to my mind is that is a lot of players. Even if it's safe to assume Serie A will be the major league, so to say, with this. Probably closely followed by MLS, then Eredivisie, then the rest of the world. I mean, if you look back to last year, the MLS team of the season had 14 players in the team. That was obviously 11 in the squad, and then 3 bench players, whatever you want to call them. That's going to be 14 times 3, which quick math is 42. Bingo. And then you're looking at a Serie A team of the season, which could feature up to 18. That's 60 players in week 1. I just don't like it. I really, really don't like it. I'll be completely honest. It seems like a recurring theme when we're saying these promo teams are just overloaded with players. And it devalues not only it devalues us as opening packs and opening upgrade packs to see that blue and know that the chance is not going to be good, but also I actually think it devalues the promo in general, because there should be something special about packing a team of the season player. I remember back in the day, if you packed a team of the season player during the Premier League team of the season, you knew it was going to be a good team of the season. You knew you were getting something good. Now, there is going to be so many players in this promo case that I'm almost a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of players in it.
Yeah, I mean, if we think about non-TOTS guarantee packs, right? And the probability is going to be so high in all of these packs, but the probability of getting the lower tier players, like, we're not going to be excited. I remember back in the day, I'm screaming my head off saying, it's a blue, it's a blue. We're not going to see that, because we're going to see the blue so much. Yes, I'm excited that we're getting a different walkout color compared to the last promo that we had. But yeah, we're just not going to be excited, and it does take away from the promo 100%. And I don't know why they're doing it this way. No, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, it seems like a trend of recent weeks and months that the promo teams that are being brought out have got on average like 35, 40 players in there. I'm probably not smart enough from a business perspective to realize what that actually does. Like, do the odds go up because there's more players in the promo, so people think they've got a better chance at packing one, so then more people open packs? But then in reality, the chance of actually getting one that once you open those packs and then you see, let's take, for example, Mario Gomez and Collier and these players that are in the percentage, that then it feels like almost like a, in the nicest way possible, like a spit in the face, because it's like, well, you're telling me I've got the percentage, but it's not the percentage that I want. I mean, I think it's got potential, Dan, to turn quite ugly quite fast, this team of the season.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the idea of packing the blue is better than packing one. Because you kind of think, oh yeah, we're getting team of the season, we've got 60 cards in packs. Oh, we can finally pack some blues. Realistically, you're getting everyone 90 rated and under. And I think by giving people the chance to pack these lower rated cards, they think they've got the chance of getting the high ones. And that's where they'll then go and spend more money, because you're thinking, oh, I've packed like 10 of these 88 rateds. Surely it's time to pack like a high rated one now. Load up some more FIFA points. I guess that's why they had so many cards in packs. But it's...
So where
I'm not in charge.
Oh, we've got 4 teams coming out. This is official, we know this. We've seen the ratings of the splash page. Was it 96?
The high ones? Yeah.
Across the board, almost. What do you think the average rating of this team of the season campaign is going to be? Because I feel like a couple of years ago, it were a little bit lower. Like, we were looking at like 91s, 92s. I think there could be a world in which we're looking at like 93, 94 average across the board here.
Yeah, I think so. Like, if we're advertising 96s, I think it'd be very similar to last year. Maybe we'll get some of like the top end that get the 97, like your Haalands, your Dembélés, your Mbappés. I think it'll be very similar to last year, but there's going to be a lot that are under and around the 90 rated, like low end.
And I suppose, Case, it's the ultimate conundrum from EA from a development standpoint, in which not all these team of the seasons are going to be that good, because they have to balance play styles, they have to balance attributes, they have to balance skill move and weak foot, and there's going to be a lot of these team of the season players, probably ranging from 10 to 25k.
Yeah, I think we're going to have 93 rated items that are unusable, which in theory, that's kind of insane. But yeah, I would say 70% of the items are probably going to be unusable. If we have 60 of them total, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a case of them being unusable. They're just not going to be that top end. And if you pack one, it's going to be like... They're obviously still good and they've got good stats and play styles, but because they don't have like the perfect combination of play styles, they're going to be 20k. And no one's going to want to use them.
Right.
And the problem that EA have painted themselves into, they gave us the chance to build our perfect players with the perfect play styles 2 months ago. So not even that, 4 weeks ago. So I just don't expect it. Let's talk We'll flip the coin. We'll talk positively for a little bit here about team of the season. Obviously, we know the 4 teams that are coming out. I think the rest of the world's quite hard to judge on where we're expecting players to be. So let's go for, I would say, sorry to any Dutch fans out there, the 2 quote unquote, even calling the MLS a major league. I mean,
come on now, respect MLS.
Feels strong, but players that we're excited for, that we think will probably get team of the season. Obviously, from the Serie A, there's a lot of hype, obviously, around quite a couple of Inter players in there. The expectation from Serie A team of the season, Lautaro, Yildiz, maybe a Nico Paz, Kalanoglu has had a great season as well. I think Akanji has been really good this year. What do you think the general level of the Serie A TOTS is looking like, Dan?
I mean, I think because it's the first team of the season, they have to go big with it. It's going to be really disappointing if we come into it and be like, oh, we've advertised a 96. He's the only one. And everyone else is kind of like the 94, 93. I think they'll go big. I think there'll be a few players with 4 playstyle pluses, but I just don't know if they can keep that up throughout the full team of the season. But like you said, I think heavy Inter. I'm thinking a few AC Milan players in there.
McTominay.
I think Modric has had a good season. I think he'll get a really good card. I think they've been giving Modric a few promo cards this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets one. And I think the guys that we think maybe don't get into the full team of the season, they'll get honourable mentions and they'll come as SBCs. So if there's players that you're after and they don't come in that first team on the Friday, there's still potential that they're going to come as SBCs and objective cards.
I suppose the question I want to throw to you, Case, we got League 1 last year as the first team. It's always before that been Premier League. Are we surprised, especially with the Premier League voting coming very early? It was over a week ago, I think, probably this time last week when we were recording the podcast. We had the Premier League voting out. Are you surprised that the Premier League team of the season isn't the first? I think that's what everyone were expecting. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, especially because they're hyping up the voting so early on. I expected it to be first. And I think, obviously we have like the Prem bias. People look forward to that the most out of any league. So yeah, I did expect it first. But honestly, Serie A is not a bad promo to start with. I'm actually pretty excited for it. There's some big names in there. I'm hoping for a Scotty McTominay. I wish Kev played the whole season because I would have loved a team this even Kevin De Bruyne. But
SBC?
Maybe, yeah.
We'll get a flashback.
I think a flashback or has he had a moment? I've not watched any real Serie A this year.
Not really, but
okay, well, he'll get an SBC.
For a flashback, yeah.
throw him his gauntlet reward. I want to switch over. Obviously, we do have 4 teams that are coming. MLS, we've got our expert here with us, Case. Messi will be in. Other than Messi, are they actually going to go by the performance of the players in the league, or are we just going to see the big names, quote unquote, getting in there? What do you expect?
I think it's going to be a mixture of both. MLS is a very hard league because of the timing of their season, and so they kind of have to take the end of last season. Inter Miami won it, so you take that into account. But we've only been live in the season for 2 months, and so there's not much to go off within this season. But I have some big names that I think will definitely get it. Obviously, Messi. Heung-min Son is the leading assist leader in MLS this year, so he for sure gets one. But in terms of like proper MLS players that aren't big names across the world, I think Dane St. Clair, he was MLS goalkeeper of the year. He probably gets one. Buwanga from LAFC, Berhalter, Diego Luna, he's gotten some items this year already. Yeah. Sam Surridge is the leading goal scorer this year. He was really good last year. And then Evander will probably get one as well.
I think Evander packed earlier in the year as a promo item.
He had a really good team this season last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Son, even if he played 3 games over the last 12 months, I think he'd be in.
Yeah.
Just because he's going to sell packs. He's always one that you give him finesse, low-driven, quick step. He's probably the best player. I want to very quickly ask on price that we're expecting. Obviously, was it last year? Was it Nico Paz? Was it in MLS? Or there was an Argentine player, not Messi, in the MLS last year, if I remember correctly, who I seem to think was pretty good. We also got Suarez last year as well, which was a very expensive item. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it was a Vander, not an Argentine, just South American player that I'm thinking of. There's usually a couple that are really expensive, and everything else he's pretty bottom of the barrel. On Messi, where do you think that price is going to fall in the grand scheme of things? Obviously, he's had a couple of promo items this year that have been very expensive. What do you think, Dan?
I guess I feel like we say this all the time. I guess it depends on the play styles.
Yeah,
and I would imagine, they give Messi the best play styles, obviously, to sell packs. But like we saw, his SBC was at the time, I think it was 2.5, 3 million. His time warp is still 3 million. I'm expecting 5, 6, 7 million, maybe, if not upwards of that. I just don't know how many coins people have at this time of year, though.
I think that's the problem.
We've had so many paid Evos, store packs. The value of cards have just dropped massively. There's not that many coins available as rewards. There's not many tradable store packs. So, yeah, I guess if it was like maybe last year or the year before, I'd be expecting a high price tag. But the amount of coins people have, he might get listed this high, but I don't know whether people would be paying that.
In terms of last one on MLS here, in terms of Inter Miami, a lot of the quote unquote, I don't want to say big names, but more famous faces to the global game. I think you look at Busquets, Suarez, obviously Jordi Alba, left back, Messi. Is there a world in which I don't know how many of those other players outside Messi are even going to get close, but someone like Luis Suarez, team of the season, SBC, potentially. We've already had a Busquets and an Alba SBC this year. So, I mean, if you want to run those back, but I think it's one of those cases that they are the names that just resonate with the wider audience.
Yeah, I think I would add DePaul to that mix as well, because he just got added to their roster. We lost some of them, so not all of them are currently playing for Inter Miami this year. So we won't see some of them transfer over. But I think, the big names will sell the packs, and we'll definitely get people doing the SBCs over some of the people like Tristan Blackman, who was one of the best center backs for Vancouver last year. They don't know who he is, but he was one of the best players in the league. He would not sell packs. So yes, I agree that they would probably choose those over someone like him.
Very quick note, Dan, on Eredivisie, because that's coming as well. There's usually a few hidden gems in Eredivisie if you go over the years. I think, is it Veerman has been pretty standout across the board over in the Eredivisie. I imagine there'll be quite a couple of Feyenoord players in there as well. Is there anything that you're maybe expecting as a bit of a hidden gem, maybe quite cheap if they sneak under the radar?
I've watched zero Eredivisie this year.
Okay,
so in terms of like the players that deserve team of the seasons, not really. I couldn't tell you, but I would imagine that they'd find a way to sneak some of the bigger guys in, or like some of the big names on PSV. I don't think Ajax are doing too well, so I wouldn't be expecting too many Ajax players in there. Maybe they'll sneak one in there. But yeah, the Eredivisie is usually cheap anyway. Even like the top end cards, usually by the end of the week, come down to like under the 100k mark, and they're very good cards. I think the thing is with the smaller team of the season leagues, because people care about them less, the price tends to drop drastically, and that means you can pick 3, 4, 5 of these guys up and put them in your team. They all link very well together, and there's just not that big cost behind them. You still get a very, very good set of items.
Well, I also imagine we'll get a probably 83 rated squad for a rest of the world team of the season upgrade. Probably an 83 or 84 rated squad for an MLS.
Yeah.
I can't quite recall what it was last year, but I seem to remember a lot of those minor leagues were very, very
really
easy
cheap.
to get to.
Yeah.
But fodder prices on the floor anyway, so no matter how expensive these are, in terms of rating, I'd imagine they're still fairly cheap. But look, 90 rateds are less than 10k, and we're heading into team of the season. They're only going to get cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to flash you back to last year, to get you in the mood, this was the MLS team of the season for last year. A couple of these I completely forgot about. Benteke, completely forgot he was in the team of the season last year. We've got Forsberg. There is Evander. He got 4 playstyle pluses last year, so I think they probably follow the trend. Has he done as well as he did last year, Case?
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent. I think he makes it. He was on the All-Star team in the summer, so I think we'll see one from him for sure.
There was Luis Suarez, Brad Guzan in goal, Reagan, Jordi Alba, Gabriel Peck was the right winger there. Honourable mentions. Messi, obviously. Ignore these prices. This is what they currently are right now. But he was ridiculously expensive. I think there's probably going to be less name value this year in MLS Team of the Season, but there might actually be some better items in there. And I think the highlight for me was probably Morea at centre-back. 4-player style pluses, 96 rated. Just looking across the board there, the average rating is probably 90. Might even be 95, with a few 96s in there as well.
Yeah, I think this was the time they broke the rule on the 4-player star pluses. Every other team, it was one defender, one midfielder, one attacker, had 4-player star pluses. But they threw Messi and Suarez in there for both the attackers.
Evander, centre-back.
Yeah, so I'd imagine that's the same we're going to see. Like, we're going to get a defender, midfielder, and attacker with 4-player star pluses. But if we get maybe 2 big names in some of the teams, they'll break that rule.
Well, just to remind you of the Serie A Team of the Season as well, this is what we got last year. Retigui up top with the 4-player style pluses. We got Scott McTominay as the midfielder with 4-player style pluses, and Bastoni at centre-back. I was actually speaking with Obrin, who is an Italian FIFA pro player, FC pro player, sorry. I get sacked for that. And he was telling me he expects all the Serie A TOTS to be between, obviously, like 10 and maximum like 600k. He said, I don't expect any of them to be expensive. He thinks they'll all be very, very cheap. And the thing we were talking about is the Serie A Team of the Season players will be released before the Serie A FC tournament. So everyone's just going to be using these juiced up Team of the Season items. Obviously, they were a very good team. I seem to remember Bastoni was a real standout in this team. And it felt as though we lacked a real... I mean, I can't really remember Retigui being great. Moise Keane as well. This was the bench, however. We got a very, very strong selection of players. Thuram, that's Kefren Thuram. Pulisic with the 5-star, 5-star. We got Lukaku, Nico Paz, Locatelli, etc., etc. Do you have any fond memories, Case, looking back at Serie A TOTS?
I do. I'm trying to think of who I packed. I think I remember really liking that Thuram card. I think I used him item. I used him for about
that's his both sacked
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I used him for about a month. That's the thing. Like with these, I'm excited to pack one, and then the next week I pack someone better in that position, and so I'm done using them. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite out of all the leagues, but I remember a couple items that I was like, okay, this is good.
Do you remember, Dan, at what point this came out in the calendar?
No, I think we did. It was French League, Premier League.
And then was it? I think it was this then.
I think it might have been this. Yeah. I really can't remember. But like, I think that's the best part of Team of the Season. Like, there is a brand new team of these cards every week, and it's just that time of trying all the different cards. Like, I think it was me and Kieran last year. We would every like Friday we'd build a full team of these brand new cards, try them all out, review them. Next week, and we'd play like 10 games with them, and that was it. Next week, Bundesliga, 10 more new cards, and it's like this is why I really enjoy Team of the Season. Just I get to use some of these cards that I wouldn't really go to use their promo cards throughout the year. I'd rather just use my City team. But I think Team of the Season is that time where it's like, okay, forget your main team. You've got so many promo cards to try out. Just use what you can and like try as many as you can out. Because like, there will be some like hidden gems that you wouldn't usually go near, but you're thinking, oh, it's a Team of the Season, got some really good stats, maybe like 10, 20k. Pick it up and use it, and you find a card that you actually really, really enjoy using.
I asked this question last week, Case, to Ozio, who joined us on the podcast. We're about to go into a period of probably the next 3 months where football is about to just take over the world. How important is it that Team of the Season is good? Because this is going to, especially for FC players, this is going to propel people through the next 6 weeks until the World Cup, really. It feels quite, I'm not saying make or break, but it feels very important that this sticks the landing for EA. Where do you sort of see it?
No, it 100% needs to hit. I think in terms of interest right now, we're a little bit lower. Obviously, we talked about Trophy Titans being maybe a filler promo. And so people are wanting something better. And if they don't provide, I think it could drop off very, very quickly, especially for how long Team of the Season is. It does span a very long period of time. I know, but by the end of it, a lot of people are ready for the next one. But it really will set up the World Cup in terms of interest. And so it literally goes right up into the World Cup, and then everyone's going to be focused on that. And so I think this is a good opportunity to bring interest back into the game where they may have lost it in the past month or so.
Absolutely. Is there with the World Cup obviously coming so soon after Team of the Season, Dan, where we've sort of done the calendar in our heads and we've figured out the Fridays, etc., that lead up. I think there's probably 7 Fridays until the World Cup or something like that, until the start of it. Where do you see is there a world in which these players do lack something, whether it's a play style or a skill move or weak foot, because EA are giving themselves wiggle room for Festival of Foot if there is to be some element of it's not going to be a World Cup promo, but I think maybe special items every day or style performers. I think that's for me, that's the route they'll go every day where there's games, star performers come out and those items could go up. Even the Champions League winning team, the Europa League winning team, the Women's Champions League, the 96 rated teams, etc., that came out last year. Do you think they will give themselves a little bit of breathing room, or do you think these items are going to be endgame? This is where it is.
I think it will kind of be a mix of both, because there's not necessarily going to be these same players in the World Cup promo. I think some of them you will see, like we might see Messi in this first week, but by the time we get to the World Cup, well, Messi's not on a promo card for 6 weeks. We're perfectly fine to put him in this World Cup promo. I think it'll be a mix of both. Like you'll see some of the lower end cards that if they do get a promo in the World Cup, it will be not even heavily boosted. And I think they can put them on the same level as Team of the Season if they do live cards, because all right, they're the same level now. They've got the chance to upgrade, but they maybe not. And I think that's one of the really exciting things about the World Cup is that we get these cards that are based on the real life upgrade, they're the real life games, and it just adds a bit more. And it's not just I'm packing this promo card. Oh, I just go with my team, leave it there. It's like I've packed this card. There's at least 3 group games that I'm looking out for. But yeah, I think it'll be kind of a mix of both. We'll see some guys that are maybe involved in the start of Team of the Season get a similar level card, and the guys that are later in, like the last couple of weeks, maybe we won't see any of them in the World Cup promo.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're going to slightly move and divert to hot or not right now. However, I'm going to change it up. Dan, I'm putting you in the hot seat. Hot or not. 5 SBCs from the last week, and all I need you to do, tell me, are they hot or are they not? Should they be completed with your fodder or should they not? I'll be honest, it's been a cold week for SBCs, but we're going to do it anyway. Dan, Trophy Titans Cafu, coming in about 100, just over 100k. Where do you see him?
Not. Like, it's kind of a mid-range card. It's the baby version. Like, there's already a better version in packs. If you really wanted a Cafu card, there's one available. I just don't think this is a smart place to put fodder right before Team of the Season.
Great guy, though. Both me and Case have met him.
Yep.
Believe it or not. Moments Wijnaldum, 20k.
Not. Again, I know he's only 20k, but it's one of them SBCs where you'll do it. It'll go in the club. You won't play games. Like, oh, it's good for future Evos. You're not going to Evo it, realistically. It's just a bit of a... There's 2 teams... You need 2 Team of the Weeks. I'd rather be keeping on to the Team of the Weeks for Team of the Season SBCs.
Moments Sergi Roberto.
I'm going to say hot for this one. Like,
Okay.
It may be the only one of the week. It actually looks a fairly decent card. We're coming right into Serie A Team of the Season, so it's not going to be a problem to link. Expecting Nico Paz to get a Team of the Season. He's got a nice link to him.
Good play.
For 50k, it's not the end of the world.
Trophy Titans Stoikov.
Not. again, it's one of them where it's a good enough card, but it's just the time of the year we're in. I just don't think it's a smart place to be dumping. I think it's 7 or 8 squads. I don't know. It's
about just under 200k.
Yeah, I'd be saving your fodder, putting it somewhere else.
And finally, Trophy Titans David Beckham coming in over 550k.
Not again, and it's the same reasoning. It's 500,000 coins. You're not going out of your way. You're not spending 500k buying the fodder for this. You're using stuff that's in your club, and I'd just be saving it for SBCs in the next couple of weeks. That they're going to be so much better.
There you go. There's hot
threw me off there.
I've got to keep people on the toes. Just like I'm going to keep Case on the toes now. Obviously, you are a big Man City fan.
Yep.
Man City have had a pretty up and down Premier League season. However, they seem to be ending strong. On the women's side of the game, they have been fairly dominant, I think it's safe to say. I'm going to give you some players, and I left this out the notes that I sent to you just to keep you on your toes. And all I want you to do is tell me, should they be in team of the season or should they miss out? Okay?
Okay. By the way, my heart, every single player should be in team of the season, but I'm going to think with my brain this time, okay?
Okay. We're going to start with the men's players. Gigi Donnarumma.
Yes.
Ryan Cherki.
No, I wish he started more throughout the season.
Antoine Semenyo.
Yes.
Kusanov.
No.
Mark Gahey.
Yes.
Bernardo Silva.
No.
Erling Haaland.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Nico O'Reilly.
Yes. 100 times yes.
Jeremy Doku.
No.
And finally, Mateus Nunes.
I'm going to say yes for him. Yes.
There you go. And we're going to quickly move on to the women's team. Bunny Shaw.
Yes.
Lauren Hemp.
No.
Jade Rose.
No.
Viviana Miedema.
Miedema, yes.
From Barnsley, it's Miedema. Alex Greenwood.
No.
Ayaka Yamashita.
No.
And did I say Bunny Shaw?
You did, yes.
Okay. And I'll go with finally Caroline Nicoli.
Yes. And I also think that Hasegawa should have one and Kasparai.
There you go. We actually Nikolai Carolina Nikolai, there we go, actually responded to us on FUTBIN. Yeah, we've got the screenshot here. We can show you.
She's not happy with me.
We said
only
93. And she put only 93.
That's real.
Yeah.
Any of those players, obviously you want to see a lot in there, Case. Which of those do you think is a guarantee from the men's team? Because that's obviously we saw the vote come out for that.
I think guarantees are probably Haaland, Semenyo, and hopefully Donnarumma. I don't think Mark Gahey gets it. I just think that Arsenal's going to dominate in the defense. But I do think that Semenyo, Haaland, and Donnarumma have a very, very good chance. Haaland is 100%.
Is there a world in which EA have held off on the Premier League team of the season until after Sunday? Until after Man City Arsenal? I mean...
I wouldn't say that, but the voting's closed for Premier League.
SBCs?
Maybe.
True.
Maybe an objective?
If O'Reilly doesn't get an SBC, I will be devastated.
Yeah, I think he has to.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
I think that's the only reason he must have been left out of the vote, because we have to give him a card no matter what.
Yes.
Do we... I'm trying to think back to last year. I'm getting old now. All my years sort of blend together. When was the last time we saw the PFA Player of the Year and PFA Young Player of the Year as an SBC? Is that...
that was a while ago.
Because I also feel as though Nico O'Reilly, he probably will win Young Player of the Year.
Could win.
Maybe they're saving him for an SBC for that.
I think he could win both. I think it was 20. I think De Bruyne won it in
long ago?
FIFA 20, yeah.
Okay.
The one other thing that he could be coming as is if they do the team of the season highlights again. I know last year we had goal of the season, moment of the season, and newcomer of the season.
Lewis Skelly, right? The 94.
Yeah, so I'd imagine they'd give the same sort of thing to Nico if that comes again. I can't, because otherwise there's no reason to exclude him from the vote. He's been one of the best players of the year.
I just want to ask, obviously, with I hear a lot of Man City propaganda through Dan, so I'm going to leave him out of this one. Obviously, with Man City 6 points behind Case, it felt unfeasible a couple of weeks ago, but Arsenal stuttering. Do you think Man City can do it?
Yes, 100%. If you had asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said no. But in true Arsenal fashion, they're giving us a very good opportunity. I think obviously this weekend is going to be make or break. So we win this weekend and we're continuing to win everything. I truly believe it.
Because there's a domestic treble really there for the taking, with the FA Cup being wide open as well. I mean, for Southampton, Leeds, Chelsea, and then obviously Man City being the very, very strong favourite left in the tournament. Prediction on next Friday, Dan. We know what's coming this Friday. For next Friday, what do you think we might see accompanying? If it is Premier League, what other leagues do you think we might see accompanying Premier League? I mean, if you go back in the history books, I feel as though it was always EFL with the EPL and then the Women's Super League as well.
I think it's the same this year. I think it's Prem, EFL, WSL. I don't think we're getting a fourth that week. They did release the schedule, but yeah, I think it is just the three that week. And again, I say just the three. Premier League is going to be one of the biggest team of the seasons. Even just the three teams, we're still going to be getting 40 or 50 cards in there. It's not like we're not losing out because we're getting one less team. But yeah, I think it is just them three that week. And then the week after it's four. I think that's the only week where there's going to be three. But I think
go ahead.
I just think there's going to be a lot of kind of with the lower leagues. There's going to be a lot of kind of trolls in parks where you see blue, you see the English flag, and it's like thinking you're getting. I was going to say like a Saka or a Rice, but no one really wants them. But like you're going to get. There's going to be so many kind of nations that you think, you're going to get someone good here. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think. I mean, for EFL, I'm just thinking. Obviously, my team Barnsley. I don't expect too much. Maybe a honourable mention. Star performer David McGoldrick, pushing 40. But I think you're probably going to see Lincoln City dominant, Coventry City dominant. I feel like League Two. Sometimes they miss players. It's always been the case that
it's always very heavy championship.
It's always heavy championship. They always seem to miss players here and there. But I suppose with Evils, if you are a supporter like I am of a League One team, you can sort of do what you want in regards to Evils.
I would also imagine with championship, no matter where Wrexham finish, we're going to see a few of their cards. I think they're just outside the playoffs.
Yeah, they're sort of bottling it a little bit.
Right.
I think they're 7th right now, but I'm pretty sure 3 points off Hull City, if I'm not mistaken. And then Middlesbrough above them. Southampton will win the playoffs. You can quote this. Southampton will win the playoffs. There's no team close to Southampton outside Coventry City in that league. But I imagine Coventry City will dominate the team of the season. Maybe, I don't even know, Wrexham. I've not watched a lot of them. They're really bad to watch. Sorry, Wrexham, but you're really bad to watch. Just throw the ball in the box all the time. But yeah, I'm excited. And I mean, I know we talked a little bit there from the Man City perspective from the Women's Super League. Is there anyone else who's played well this season? I know it feels as though if you're coming from an FC perspective, you expect to see the players in there maybe that have played really well for England as a national team, or players that you see who are quote unquote OP in game, always replicating it into the seasons. But is there anyone, Dan, that you think maybe could could be a worthwhile investment in there?
I think we spoke about a lot of them already, but yeah, I think Jade Rose should be in there.
Yeah.
But okay, it just depends on how many they want to give City, because realistically, they've been
Probably
the best team,
5.
like by far the best team in that league. No one's been close. But you can't just give the entire City 11 the team of the season. So like, I think Bunny will be in there. Carolyn, she's only started 7 games in the league, but she's got 13 goal contributions.
Yeah.
So I think they'll put her in. Yui, again, the numbers don't look great, like goals and assists wise, but she's one of the best players in the team. Again, Kasparai has the most assists or most goal contributions for a fullback in the league ever, I think. Yeah, I'd expect to see Jade Rose in there. Maybe 1 or 2 others. I'm definitely missing someone. But I think we have 5 in our prediction. Miedemar as well. I think we've got 5 in our prediction, so I kind of expect similar to that and fill the rest out with Chelsea, United, Arsenal.
Yeah, so I think, will people be expecting Russo, Blackstenius?
Russo will be in for sure.
those sort of players
Mariona.
in there? Yeah.
Yeah, I
see
think
like a Jess Park. I think
Yeah, Jess Park, I think will be in there.
Hampton's definitely goalkeeper.
Ella
Yep.
Toon?
I think she's been
I don't
injured,
think
to be
so.
fair. I think she's been
Yeah.
off it a bit this year. I think Parker will be the only United player. I'm not just saying that from a City perspective. I think she's carried United this year. Again, I don't expect it just to be City, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, with a lot of the big names. I know that I think we put Millie Bright in our prediction. Again, she's not had the best season, but we know that EA like to go with some of those that have been in Team of the Year, and Williamson's been out injured all season. So if they want to pick someone from that defence or one of the English players, I think Millie Bright sneaks in. I'd expect most of the big, like, you'll recognise the names in the Team of the Season, even if you don't watch the league.
Well, there you go. Look out for it. We're going to end with some FC Pro discussion. Myself and Case were on different sides of the world. However, only 24 hours apart were the tournaments that we were presenting and commentating on. I have to say, I did tell you to do Nicholas's SBC last week. I said it's the, if you're going to do one, do Nicholas's. He went on to win the tournament, got the +2 upgrade on Susic from Real Sociedad and a base playstyle. I'm not sure, I don't think, if my memory serves me correctly, if that
Unless
upgrade
they've added mid tonight, I don't think they're in yet.
Lucas Susic, no, still 88 rated. It should be going to a 90. It will have he'll have an extra play style. As I've said before, I think the League Showdown SBCs are the right place, just the wrong execution. The other players that all participated in that league, the 3 players, like I said, didn't get a upgrade at all. They all fell earlier in the tournament. So Susic, the only player to get the upgrade package, and he got everything to go with it. Case, you were over at the MLS, and maybe a little bit of a similar story with the upgrades.
Yeah, so Richie Larea gets the full upgrade from Red Lax Performance. He was our MLS champion, so that's a +2 and a base playstyle for him. Stingray did make top 4, so Raul Gustavo will get a +1. And then, unfortunately for King CJ and Guy Barros, and that is Gabriel Pirani and Forsberg do not get upgrades because they got knocked out in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and we got a brand new set of players for this upcoming weekend, which is the Virtual Bundesliga, which if you're ever going to watch a esports broadcast for FC, this is one of the more fun ones to watch. They're all amazing, but this one, it's a little bit more loose. It's basically me, Brandon Smith, and Ryan Pessoa sitting on a couch for 9 hours with no breaks, just talking to the chat. So if you are interested in that, come along. For this upgrade, the way that it's been done, it feels slightly different. I mean, the image that I saw was win the tournament, get a +1 overall. But I'm not sure if it's actually been executed like that. I've not done the SBC yet. I've not actually been on the game today since it's come out. But I'm under the assumption that it's top 4 again, +1, get to the final +1, and then you win the E-League, you get a 1 play style. The players that have been selected, you've got Luke's Official, which is Hack, the left winger. You have got Alihan Lyon, which is Lukaba, the centre-back for Leipzig. You've got Firmino, which is Sambi Lakonga. and then Virgil, which is Fabio Silva. Don't do any of them. None of them are going to win it. So save your fodder. Maybe Alihan Lyon might get to the semi-finals, but for me personally, I don't see any of those 4 players winning the tournament. So the expert opinion coming in, stay away from this one. Just get the rewards for watching the stream.
Well, I've not completed it yet, but I looked at them and I thought, oh, there's a Leipzig one there. Anders will be playing for that. I'll get that one done.
No.
Doesn't play there anymore. No.
Oh, stay away. Stay away. That's us all done. That's everything in the last week of Ultimate Team. This time next week, we'll be talking Blues. We'll be reviewing Team of the Seasons, and we'll be looking at the best teams to come out of it. But for now, it's a very, very, very much thank you to Case for joining us. We've done it at a reasonable time for you. It's getting a little bit late here in the UK, so we're not going to stay too much longer. But thank you for joining us. Where can people see your content over Team of the Season?
Sure. I'm Shy Case on everything. CHI_KACEE. I stream on Twitch, and that's all she wrote.
Dan, anything to add before we get off?
You've made us miss one of the best games in the Champions League. Arsenal are through. Bayern have just scored in the last minute to send them through. Real Madrid are down to 10. I think we missed the first half.
Elise's just scored 90 plus 4.
Camavinga with the second yellow.
It was 6-4 before. Luis Diaz scored as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's going to be Bayern versus PSG, Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid. Case prediction. Who's winning the Champions League before we go?
PSG.
There you go. I think it's finally time for Atletico Madrid and Simeone to get their hands on some silverware.
No way.
If it gets Arsenal out in the semi-finals, I'm happy.
Well, let us know your thoughts on everything we spoke about. Thank you for watching once again. We'll be back next week to talk all things Team of the Season. Have a great weekend, and thank you for listening and watching to the award-winning FUTBIN podcast. Take care. See you soon.